Hello everyone. So basically we have been doing exercise 3.1. It's almost 2 days. We have been doing the problems and what we learned. We have learned like how to graph a linear function, how to know whether a function is linear or non-linear, and also we have learned that how to know whether a function is increasing or constant. But all of these were based on theories. Right now, we are going to solve some application-based problems, that how these things work in real life. That is what we are going to learn today. So which is the reason why I have dragged here an example from your book, which will definitely help you in recognizing all those theories which you have learned. So let's jump in. So here it is written in this example, focus. The quantity supplied of a good is the amount of a product that a company is willing to make available for a sale at a given price. The quantity demanded of a good is the amount of a product that consumers are willing to purchase at a given price. Basically, they're teaching you about what is the meaning of quantity demanded and what is the meaning of quantity supplied. So here what they have written. Let's focus again. The quantity supplied of a good is the amount of a product that a company is willing to make available for a sale at a given price. For example, let's say you want to buy a product at Taka 10. However, the company wants to sell you for Taka 12. Then since your demand is on Taka 10 and the company wants it to sell it to you at Taka 12, so the company will sell you nothing, right? That means the willingness of the company to sell a product at a certain price is known as basically the quantity supplied of a good at a given price. Hopefully that is understandable. Of course, you will ask question if you do not understand in the class. Now next, quantity demanded. What does it mean by quantity demanded? Quantity demanded of a good is the amount of a product that consumers are willing to purchase at a given price. Let's say you're a consumer, you want to buy a product at a given price according to your budget. So the demand which you place for that certain product is basically the quantity demanded for that product at a certain price. Hopefully you understood. Now suppose that the quantity supplied is indicated by S and the quantity demanded is indicated by D of a cellular telephones each month are given by the following function. So they have given you a supply function, they have given you a demand function. Supply depends on price. As you can see, at a certain price, the company is willing to sell you, and at the same time, at a certain price, you are buying product from, you are demanding or placing the demand of that product to that company, right? So of course, demand also depends on price, supply also depends on price. So supply function, it is written 60p minus 900, and demand function, it is written minus 15p plus 2850, right? So now using this function, we will do some of the real life based problems. Here it has been written where P is the price of the telephone, right? So let us try to understand the function. Supply function, it is written, it depends on P, which is 60p minus 900. So here P is what? Here P is the price in dollar of the telephone, right? So 60p, 60 is the slope, and minus 900, which is basically constant, right? This is the supply. This is the supply at which they want to sell the product. And demand also depends on price P, and which is minus 15p plus 2850. Here's the interesting thing which I want to actually show you. Here you can see that in case of supply function, P is obviously the variable on which the supply is dependent. Now 60 is the slope which is associated with P, and you can see that it is positive. That means there is a positive relationship of price and supply. If price increases, supply increases. That is the reason why the slope here, which is associated with P is positive, right? And now if we think about demand, here it is written minus 15P, right? Minus 15P. So here minus 15 is the slope and P is basically the quantity, the price. Now there is a negative relationship of price. If price increases, demand decreases. So there is a negative relationship between price and demand, which is the reason why you can see the slope is negative, right? So in case of supply function, slope is positive. In case of demand function, slope is negative. Obviously, let's say you are a buyer, right? Now, if you want to buy a product, if the price of that product increases, obviously your willingness to buy that product will decrease, right? That is the thing which we can see here, right? That is the real life scenario. So now everyone, so we will also understand what does this constant value mean. Minus 900 plus 2850. What does these two things mean? We will try to understand those things as well by solving problem. So let's drag into some of the problems which are based on this context. Now, problem 1. Let's read it. The equilibrium price of a product is defined as the price at which quantity supplied equals quantity demanded. That is, the equilibrium price is the price at which the supply function becomes equal to the demand function. Find the equilibrium price of cellular telephones. What is the equilibrium quantity? The amount demanded at the equilibrium price. Let us try to understand the problem step by step, because there are so many questions which may baffle you. So let me not overwhelm you with the questions. Let me just bring everything step by step so that you can understand. So here what is written, let us read it again. It is written the equilibrium price of a product. Equilibrium price of a product is defined as the price at which quantity supplied equals quantity demanded. Everyone, the function of quantity supplied is this one, and the quantities demanded is this one. That means they're actually telling you about that equilibrium price is the price where supply function is equal to demand function. That means equilibrium price is the price at which the quantity supplied is equal to the quantity demanded. So find the equilibrium price of cellular phones. Now, after equating these two, you have to find the equilibrium price. That is the price at which these two becomes equal. So let us try to do that. Here, if that means we know that if in order to answer this question, here you see that at equilibrium price, the quantity supplied is equal to the quantity demanded. So quantity supplied function, here it is written 60p minus 900 becomes equal to minus 15p plus 2850, right? Now, we will write or 60p plus 15p equals 2850 plus 900. So here it becomes what? 75p equals 0, 5, 8 plus 9, 17. 1 is in your hand, so it is 3750. Right? So 75p is equals to 3750. So now you see that P will be what? P is the equilibrium price at which the supply is equal to demand. P is equals to 3750 divided by 75. So P is equals to what? Now, if you try to reduce it by 25, you will get 3 here. If you try to reduce it by 25, so what you are going to get 1, and here 250. Okay, 25. I'm just trying to deduct that. So 37 minus 25 is equals to what? 37 minus. So let's do it here. Okay, 25. So 25 ones are 25. So here 2, here 1, 5, 525, there 125, and then 0, 0. Okay. So that is 150, right? And now again we can reduce. So what we are getting 50. So the price is basically $50, right? So that is the equilibrium price at which the supply, quantity supply is equal to the quantity demanded. Hopefully this is understandable. Of course, make sure that you take note, you understand the whole thing by observing the video again and again. So we have already found out the equilibrium price. We have already found out the equilibrium price at which the supply is equal to demand, right? Now everyone, so please don't forget it, and of course take note. So what we have found out the equilibrium price. That was the question in the beginning. So equilibrium price. Equilibrium price is equals to what? Equilibrium price is equals to $50, which we have found out. Now, they have asked, find the equilibrium price. Okay, we have found it out, done. And next, what is the equilibrium quantity? That means at this price, what is the quantity that the supplier is going to provide and you are willing to take, right? So that is the equilibrium quantity which has been negotiated between you and the supplier. So now here you can see that we try to put the value of P here. You can put the value of P $50 here to get the quantity. You can put it here as well to get the quantity. We can use any of those. Now, some of you might have confusion. Let me just put equilibrium quantity. This supply function gives you the sense of the quantity that the supplier is willing to provide you. Supply here, supply when the price is 50, what is the supply? Let's see, when the price is 50, the supply is 60 into 50 minus 900, right? 60 into 50 minus 900, that is the supplier wants to sell 2,100 unit of the product. That means 2,100 unit, as we can see. And now you may ask, is it the same for the demand as well? Yes, it is the same for the demand as well. That is why that is equilibrium. Let me show you, because some of you might face confusion. That is, what is the demand when the price is 50? Let's try to put in 50 here as well. So you will see that these are the same. So 515s are what? 515s are 75, right? Minus 750, right? Plus 2850. Then we will get again 2,100 units. So these are the things that we are going to we have already covered. That means we have already known that what is equilibrium price, and we have gathered the information of equilibrium quantity as well. Hopefully you have understood. First, take note, because these are some of the questions that you might face in the exam. Now next, this is the question that has a different demand. Let's try to understand. Here it is written, determine the prices for which quantity supplied is greater than quantity demanded. Determine the price for which the quantity supplied. That means now maybe this is the price at which the supplier is willing to sell more, but as a buyer, since it is not in your range, you are demanding less. So now determine the price where supply is more than demand. It's very easy, very simple. Let us try to find that out. So supply is more than demand. At which price? Let us try to figure out. Supply function is written 60p minus 900. It's greater than minus 15p plus 2850, right? Now 60p is here. That minus 15p, which is in the right hand side, we will take it to the left hand side, and it will be plus 15p, right? And now the minus 900, which is the left hand side, we will move it to the right hand side, and it will be plus 900, right? 2850 plus 900. So it becomes what? It becomes 75p, and here it becomes 2850 plus 900 becomes 3750, right? So P becomes what? P is greater than 3750 divided by 75, which is 150 again. So when the price, determine the prices, it has been written. So when the price is greater than 150, 150 is the bar, is the equilibrium. If price increases from the bar, then obviously the supplier is willing to sell more, but the buyer is not willing to take more, right? Because it's out of range. Do ask me question if you have any confusion, and do watch the video again and again. So next, it has been written, this is the next requirement, that is you have to graph what? Graph supply function and demand function and level the equilibrium price, right? So we have to graph this one and this one, and you know how to draw graph, right? So that is easy for you. You know that you have learned how to draw graph from slope and y-intercept, right? Now this is the time for you to apply, right? This is the time for you to apply. Let's apply that supply function, right? Now here, P is the independent variable and S is the dependent variable. So P is the independent variable, so we will keep it in the x-axis, and S is the dependent variable, we will keep it on the y-axis, right? Now minus 900, right? Minus 900. So when it is saying minus 900, that means we need to obviously go for the negative direction of y as well, right? We need to go for the negative y. So if we go for the negative direction of y, that means when p is equals to 0, then s is equals to minus 900. Let's say this is minus 900, right? Let's say this is minus 900. That means when p is equals to 0 and y is equals to minus 900. Fine. I have just plotted the point randomly. And so y-intercept done. And what is the slope? Slope is basically 60p. What does it mean by 60p? That means I told you in the class that what does it mean by slope equal to 60? The meaning of slope equal to 60, it means that for every 1 unit change in x, there will be 60 units of change in y, right? For every 1 unit change. That means when this zero converts to 1, this minus 900 will rise by 60 units, because this is the positive slope, right? So minus 900 plus 60, minus 900 plus 60, right? So for 1 unit change in x, that means from 0 to x is becoming it's converting from 0 to 1. So y will convert from 900 to 900 plus 60. I told you that for every 1 unit change in x, there will be 60 units change in y, but in the positive direction, in the upper direction, because slope is positive. So minus 900 plus 60 is what? Minus 900 plus 60. By the way, minus 900 plus 60. Minus 900 plus 60 is equals to what? Minus 840, right? 840. So for 1 unit change, there will be, let's say, if x equal to 1, then y equal to minus 840. So the graph will go like this, right? The graph will go like this. So this is the graph of what? This is the graph of supply function. This is the graph of supply function, right? By the way, this is there. Here is another important catch, which is you cannot draw beyond, because obviously this is real life scenario, right? So price cannot be negative. If we draw it here, price cannot be negative, which is the reason why we cannot draw here, because this is the negative direction of P, but price cannot be negative. So price should start from where here, and obviously it will go like this, right? Hopefully you understood that how this thing work. Now this is the demand supply function, and now the demand. We will draw the graph for demand function. So here it is, you can see it is minus 15p plus 2850. So the slope is what? Right now the slope, let me write, the slope here is 285, not 2850, sorry, minus 15. The slope here is minus 15, right? Minus 15. And y-intercept here is 0, 2850. So when the value of x is 0, the value of y is 2850. Let's say here, let's say it is 2850, 0, 2850. By the way, this is right now the demand. This is indicating the axis for demand, and P is the price which is actually independent. Demand depends on price. So 0,2850. So now minus 15, what does it mean by minus 15? Minus 15 means for every 1 unit change, for every 1 unit change in X, there will be minus 15 unit change in Y. That means Y will go down by minus 15 unit, right? That means since it is negative, right? So Y should be equal to, for 1 unit change, for example, for X is going from 0 to 1. So Y will be minus 15 unit down, 2850 minus 15. 2850 minus 15, what? 2835. So 2835. So for 1 unit change, there will be, let's say 2835. Let's say 2835 is here, 1,2835. So you can see this is how it goes, right? This is how it goes. And this is the equilibrium. Equilibrium means the price at which they are actually they are together, right? At which the supply meets the demand. This is the price, the equilibrium price, right? Equilibrium price. Now we have to find out, we have to level the equilibrium price, right? They have asked us to level the equilibrium price. So what is the equilibrium price here? We have already found out that equilibrium price is basically 150 in the earlier question. And the quantity demanded, which we have already found out, right? Quantity demanded is 2,100 unit. So it will be 2,100 unit. 1,100 unit. So you will draw the graph like this very randomly and try to put so that I understand that you understood. So hopefully you understood, and now this is the assessment for you. Your understanding, I mean, I want to assess that whether you understood or not. So do solve this problem, this one and this one, that is problem 39 and problem 40 from your worksheet, so that I can understand that you grab the lesson from this content. Thank you so much, everyone.